If you're looking for job-ready, hands-on cybersecurity courses, we're very excited to announce our partnership with EC Council. And through this partnership with EC Council, we are providing courses for cybersecurity professionals. And in these courses, we're going to cover Cybersecurity Skill Building, a bundle for career starters, a toolkit for Cybersecurity Mastery, Ultimate Red Team Cyber Suite, and a course on AI Mastery. You're not going to want to miss this. In this video, I'm going to break down how you can access these courses and take advantage of the huge discounts that we're providing. My name is Professor Tony Evans, and welcome to another episode of the Cybersecurity Accelerator podcast. I'm very excited again about our partnership with EC Council because the big thing in cybersecurity is not being able to have the skills and experience in order to break into the field outside of your certifications. So taking advantage of one or even all of these courses is going to make you a standout candidate. And as you see, they're providing a steep, huge discount for you all. The first one that we're going to take a look at is the complete cybersecurity bundle for career starters. And to access these courses, go to the link in our description. It's going to take you to our homepage, and you can start to go through these on your own. But the first one that we're going to go through is the complete cybersecurity bundle for career starters. And the main thing that I want you guys to take a look at is the courses that you are getting introduced to. So if you're completely new to cybersecurity, you're going to get an introduction to cybersecurity and just be aware of what that is. And networking is a part of cybersecurity. So we're going to dive into the fundamentals of those concepts. Linux for absolute beginners. You're going to be working with a command line interface within cybersecurity, so you want to understand how to at least do that. Some of you all might be into help desk, so getting a course on help desk would allow you to get those basic skills. Some people might be into the SOC Operations Center. You can start to look at a course on that. Threat modeling is where you take a look at cyber risks. Then you dive in more into Linux. So you learned the basics. Now you're going to learn about Linux hardening. Zero trust is where we don't necessarily trust the individual, regardless if they were already authenticated. Cloud security is big now. So you're going to take a look at the fundamentals of cloud. You want to take a look at the OWASP top 10, and that's where we look at those application security risks. Bug bounty, this is what I did while I was at Square, and that's essentially where you have an external researcher come into your program and take care of the vulnerabilities that you have. Zero-day attacks. So zero-day is where error is known in your system and you haven't yet did a patch for it. And so it's going to take you through that process of how you can take care of that. Then we're going to take a look at some general AI within cybersecurity, how you can use it. We're going to take a look at security testing for AI models. And then lastly, you're going to dive a little bit deeper into digital forensics and take a look at some of those tools that they use. So I highly recommend a course like this for someone that's just getting started within cybersecurity. When you finish that course, you want to put all of the things that you're learning in there into your resume and portfolio. It's just going to help you stand out. Let's take a look at our next course. This is the Cybersecurity Skill Builder, and having skills outside of just your soft skills is very important, and looking at a course like this is going to help you with that. Let's take a look at the courses that you're going to be looking into. Now this takes a look at Linux malware development, and so you're going to look at how you can take a look at those threats that come into Linux. Mobile penetration testing for Android applications. That looks like an interesting course. So when you are using Android apps, we're going to take a look at how you can do security testing for that. Diving more into that infrastructure and network bug bounty that I was telling you about, but more on the penetration side of things. Then you're going to get more penetration testing experience using Termix, which is an actual tool. Then you're going to take a look at threat modeling. This is more so on the DevSec operation side of things. Or you're going to take a look at some of those models. In this case, it looks like you're going to look at the Agile model, right? Then you're going to look at reverse engineering, and this is where you're taking a look at protecting your software. Then we're going to move into this generative AI apps masterclass using LangChain. That is a tool that you will use in OpenAI. You're going to get a look at virtual machine forensics, and so how you can conduct forensic testing on virtual machines. Then you're going to look at an actual graphic static analysis. You're going to learn the fundamentals of static analysis. You're going to take a look at database forensics. You're going to get an introduction to KPIs, which stands for Key Performance Indicators. And this is more so for incident response. So you want to get more in depth with metrics and measurements. You're going to look at the framework such as NIST 882. This is for specifically risk management. Then you're going to get an idea of how you can look at vulnerable assets using open source tools. When I was in school, using those open source tools was a very fun assignment for me. Next, you're going to get an idea of using GraphQL for pen testing. And lastly, you're going to get a deeper dive into DevSecOps using that Google Cloud platform. And so this is going to dramatically increase your cybersecurity skills. So I highly recommend a course like this. Let's take a look at the next course. This is the complete toolkit for Cybersecurity Mastery. Let's take a look at the courses that you're going to look at in this. In this course, we're going to first get started off with security automation. And that's where you're going to go in and automate a lot of your security related tasks using the tool Ansible. Next, we're going to take a look at Wireshark, and this is where you go in and start to look at those packets that you have on your network. You're going to get an introduction to JavaScript. JavaScript is where you're going to learn how to set up web testing in that environment. Next, we're going to look at a tool, Elastic Stack, and this is going to help you look at real-time threat detection. PowerShell is a tool I had to use in school with scripting, I would say. And so you're going to look at some of those best practices that you need to use while using PowerShell. Wireshark is a tool that we use in networking to look at the analysis of the network. And so you're going to get some experience with using Wireshark. Next, you're going to look into some of the tools that pen testers use and move more into the ethical hacking and bug bounty side of things. So you're looking at more industry tools that they use for that. Then we're going to move into some tools that ethical hackers and bug bounty programs use. Me personally, we used Burp Suite when I was at Square, so I have some familiarity with that. Next, we're going to move into cryptography. This is one of the harder topics that I had to teach and learn when I was in school. So you're going to get an idea of public key infrastructure on Windows servers. Next, you're going to move into some more scripting. You're going to get a look at Python. You're going to look into the OSINT, which is open source intelligence. It's going to teach you how to basically gather, analyze, and safeguard your data. And next, you're going to look at the Spring Security Architecture. It's going to take a look at how you can secure Spring Web applications. Then moving on to the last part, you're going to get an idea of application security, the complete guide. So you'll go through the whole software development lifecycle. You're going to get a look at AWS, look at how they do pen testing in the cloud. And you're going to get some more PowerShell experience. So again, this is a complete toolkit for cybersecurity in this course. Let's take a look at Red Team. Red Team is where you are basically an ethical hacker in a sense, right? You're trying to get into the system versus Blue Team, you're trying to defend your system. So let's take a look at the courses that we have for this. We're going to get a look at malware. So malware is a type of malicious software that you have on your system. So in this, you're going to look at some of the skills and tools that you can go in to find that malware. You're going to get some more experience with network pen testing specifically. So you're going to perform network vulnerability assessments. You're going to get an introduction to Kali Linux pen testing. When I started to learn Linux, Kali Linux was the platform that I was on specifically. And then you're going to get more in depth with mastering that pen testing using Kali Linux. We're going to look at how you can set up a security testing environment to perform password attacks. Again, Red Team, we're trying to attack a system. With that, you want to learn how to use Metasploit. And Metasploit is a Windows-based application, and you're trying to go in there and basically hack the Windows operating system using advanced techniques. Burp Suite is a platform that you can go into to hack web applications and web services. So you're going to get some experience looking at that. You're going to do more pen testing using OWASP Zap, which is a tool used for testing and automated testing. Then you're going to get some more experience with trying to, attack a network. And so you're trying to hack the web and WPA, and that is essentially the wireless environments. Moving along, we're going to take a look at web hacking. Then you're going to get more in depth with that open source intelligence and how to build up your own social engineering toolkit. So that seems like a lot of fun with that. And then moving on to the last part, we're going to take a look at PowerShell scripting. Again, running those scripts and commands. You're going to get a look at zero-day exploits, taking a look at how you can reduce the risk of 0 days. And you're going to get some more experience outside of Linux using Microsoft Defender. This is a tool where you can go in to look at what type of threats are in the system, right? So, man, this course right here, if you're anyone that is trying to be a red teamer, this is definitely for you. Let's take a look at the AI Mastery. AI is something that you need to start incorporating into your cybersecurity skill set. I am actually in the process of studying for EC's Council AI Program Manager certification because I want to level up my skills within AI. But here they have a course for us, and let's take a look at what we're going to be learning. And so in this course, we're going to look at how you can use AI for cybersecurity tasks and bug bounty hunting. And so like I touched on earlier, bug bounty is where you're trying to go into a system and look for vulnerabilities. We're going to look at how we can use AI to enhance our network defense. We're going to look at how phishing is used nowadays using AI. We all know about those deep fakes, and phishing is where you have fake calls coming in trying to get you to disclose personal information. So that looks like a pretty fun course right there. We're going to look at how we can use ChatGPT for incident detection and response. We're going to take a look at how we can use generative AI to troubleshoot some of our issues that we have. We're going to actually dive into mastering ChatGPT for that threat intelligence using OSINT. Remember, that's that open source intelligence that we talked about earlier. We're going to look at how we can basically improve our intrusion detection and prevention system along with our vulnerability management. We're going to get a look into robotics and, machine learning. That is pretty popular now, and how we use AI for that. And then moving on to the last part, we're going to look at how we can basically use AI to craft some policies and make them more clear and ethical, right? And last, we're going to get a look at how we can use pen testing to secure our AI systems from these emerging threats that we have. So this is the 5 courses that are included in our partnership with EC Council. I highly recommend going through them and seeing which one is for you, or even a combination of all. And if you're someone who likes to just do an annual plan to get all of what we just covered, you can just pay this one-time fee of $249, and you get access to even more cybersecurity courses and learning paths. So I highly recommend taking advantage of at least one of these offers to help advance your cybersecurity career. And these courses are going to look very great on your resume and your portfolios, and it's going to further enhance your skill set. So put in the comments, which course was you leaning more towards? Was it one? Was it a combination of both? I'm interested to see. And I'm glad that I can provide these resources for you all to help your careers. Again, thank you for watching another episode of Cybersecurity Accelerator Podcast. You all have a good